Have you ever noticed how often your mind demands to know what's coming next? It whispers things like, what's going to happen? Is this the right decision? What if I mess it all up? We've been conditioned to believe that knowing keeps us safe, that if we just plan well enough, control hard enough, hold on tight enough, we'll be okay. But here's the truth. Your need to know is what's keeping you stuck. And the phrase I use again and again is this: stop telling stories. Because most people don't even realize they're doing it. They're not sitting around crafting fiction. They're doing what they've always done: explaining, interpreting, defending, justifying. It feels normal. It feels necessary. But it's not. It's the cage. Because the moment you tell a story about what something means, you close the door on what else it could be. You turn a living moment into a frozen conclusion. You don't meet the moment, you filter it. You don't experience life, you manage it. You don't grow, you reinforce the same loop over and over and over. Your stories become your safety net, your false ground, but they're also your prison. Because when you tell yourself who you are, who they are, how this is supposed to go, you are not present. You are performing a version of life that has nothing to do with what's actually happening. So let's talk straight. Most people don't actually want unfiltered life. They want a version that's manageable, predictable, familiar. But life isn't manageable. It isn't predictable. And it's definitely not interested in staying inside the lines you've drawn to feel safe. So if you really want to live, not just survive, you have to let go of the version of life you've built in your head. You have to stop clinging to the story. If you're still with me, something in you already knows this. Something in you is ready to stop performing and start listening. So before we go deeper, click subscribe. Because what we're doing here isn't surface level. It's not about adding more. It's about letting go of what's never been real. Now, there's a moment you will come to again and again where you have to decide, am I going to keep rehearsing the same story and the same version of myself, or am I willing to meet the unknown, to let go of the script and see what life wants to show me? Because we do this in relationships all the time. We say, you always do this. You never listen. Why can't you just be who I thought you were? We relate to the version of them in our head, not the person in front of us. And when they grow, when they change, when they break the script, we feel hurt. We feel betrayed. We feel scared. Not because they did something wrong, but because our story doesn't work anymore. And instead of letting it go, we try to make life go back to how it was. We do this with people. We do this with ourselves. We do this with life. We say, I'll surrender, but only if it goes the way I want. I'll be open, as long as it's comfortable. I'll evolve, but only on my terms. That's not surrender. That's not presence. That's bargaining, and it's exhausting. So stop telling stories. Stop trying to make the unknown known. Not because it's wrong, but because it's small. Because what's available is so much bigger. You don't need to understand life to experience it. You don't need to know what's coming next to show up for what is. The practice is this: let life come to you. Let her bring what she brings. Let her take what she takes. Don't decide what you want and chase it. Don't grip at what feels safe. Let yourself become the leaf in the wind, moving as life moves. Not passive, not checked out, but deeply, fully alive. When life brings love, receive it. When life brings challenge, meet it. When life asks you to let go, release. This is the dance, this is the shift, this is the freedom. And yes, like it might feel like fear at first, because it's unknown, because it's vulnerable. But if you stay, if you breathe, if you trust instead of grasp, you will find something beyond the story, beyond the identity, beyond the mind. You will find presence. You will find truth. You will find life. So I'll leave you with this. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to know. You just have to let go.